So hey, let's play Mega Man. Why? I don't know. I felt like it. I want to record Super Smash Brothers right now, so I figured this would be a nice quick game to do in the meantime. Consider this my unofficial 4th LP, even though I said I wouldn't do that, but I don't care. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. Okay, so Mega Man, what's to say about this game? You fight 6 bad robots that weren't really bad. Just Daddy Dr. Wily ended up reprogramming them because he was jealous of other Daddy Dr. Light and his accomplishments. And so he decided to get this whole ego thing and decided to take over the world. Rock decided he wanted to be turned into a combat robot named Mega Man, and even though Dr. Light didn't want to, here we are now. Okay, so Mega Man is kind of an interesting game. It was one of the first games where you could choose what order you could do the 6 stages in. And, you know, there's advantages, there's weaknesses to going in whatever order you please. There are certain robots that are weak to certain things, and some of them are damn near impossible to be without their weakness. Particularly these two. But, you know, there's no set order. You can go in any order you please. But I always go after this fella right here, Bomb Man. Now everyone talks about Mega Man 2 and how great that game is. I don't know. There's something pure about the original Mega Man that I prefer. You know, this was before energy tanks, this was before, you know, 2 more Robot Masters that joined in and decided to make hell. It was a similar time. And a lot of people consider this to be one of the hardest games ever released. I personally disagree. True, Mega Man 1 is very difficult, but, you know, in a lot of cases, not unfairly so. Honestly, I'd say 9 and 10 definitely are a lot harder, particularly 9. Mega Man 9 is a game you honestly don't want to play if you're a first-time Mega Man fan. I mean, it does introduce the first female Robot Master, but I don't know, there's something I don't like about the 9th game. I have gotten decently far in Mega Man 9. I think I managed to get to Plug Man, and then I died. But, you know, Mega Man 9, I don't know. To me, the platforming in Mega Man 9 is really, really tight, and not in a good way. Like, tight in kind of an annoying way. Like one of those, you gotta make pixel-perfect jumps and junk like that. And with Mega Man 1, I don't think you do. A lot of people would disagree, but they're probably remembering the powered-up version, which, from my understanding, does have pixel-perfect jumps, and is pretty annoying overall. Not in this game, though. I think this game's biggest sin is probably its first game-itis. Like, you know, this was one of Capcom's... Actually, I think this was Capcom's first, like, original game that wasn't, like... I'm trying to think, like... That wasn't, like, an arcade game first. But, you know, I think they did a pretty good job for their first attempt. It's pretty neat. That's actually one of my favorite things right there. See Sniper Joe glitching out? That's hilarious. It actually looks a lot funnier on the screen than it does on, like, the footage that you're seeing, because, honestly, that doesn't do it justice. Now, one of the things I don't like about Mega Man 1 is Sniper Joe. He's pretty annoying. And he appears quite often throughout Mega Man 1. Actually, no, he doesn't. I don't know why I said that. Because it's like nearly 12:30 in the morning, and I'm just remembering things off the top of my head. Also, that happened. Yeah, that's one of the things you gotta get used to in Mega Man. In future installments in the series, you could fall on spikes, and, you know, if you had post-hit invincibility, you wouldn't die, but in this game, oh no. If you fall on the spikes, you're dead. Doesn't matter if you have post-hit invincibility or not, you're dead the moment you hit those spikes. It's very obnoxious. Very, very obnoxious. Anyway, enjoy yourself over there, Sniper Joe. I'm gonna try to kill your brother here. Well, that's not been morbid. But, you know, it's okay, because you can get away with it. I don't know how Venture Kid gets away with it, but he does. Why was that easier this time than it was last time? I don't know. Now, one thing I could probably recommend for, like, people that are, like, trying to get into Mega Man is that the game rewards you a lot, both for memorization, but also moving fast. Like, a lot of people talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. No. Mega Man, if you're running and gunning, you're good. Also, hi, Bomb Man, how are you? Alright. Should probably talk about the strategy for Bomb Man. Bomb Man's a pretty simple robot master. He's always going to try to jump away from you and chuck his hyper bombs, which are actually kind of a bad weapon, which you will actually see fairly soon, because his weapon is going to work quite nicely against the next robot master, who is Gutsman, who is Dr. Wily's favorite. I don't know why, but he is. Anyway. This game, like I said, rewards figuring out the stages, but also you need to keep moving, because a lot of the obstacles are made a lot easier if you just keep moving. It's one of those games you just gotta know. That was smooth. Well, at the very least, we started the beginning of the stage. That's not a bad thing. That was my own fault, I wasn't paying attention. That's another thing about Mega Man, you gotta pay attention to what's going on, so I'm actually gonna fall silent for a second, because this part right here is a pain in the ass. There you go. See, that's one of those parts you need to be, like, at full concentration for. Alright. Now here's one thing that I will agree with a lot of the fans on. The enemy placement in this game is a little weird, like, particularly for those helis. I think that's what those things are called. I could actually look it up, because it is actually in the game itself. Like, I'm playing the Legacy Collection version. Which, by the way, even though I am playing the Legacy version, I'm not using save states. I personally think that's cheap. Like, I don't even use the save feature usually, unless I'm, like, really short on time and want to play the game later. Anyway, yeah, enemy placement, kind of annoying. Particularly that thing. That thing is the big eye. And you know what? He's a piece of shit. I don't like him. That thing does like a third of your health and damage each time you encounter him. I don't know if it's a third or half your health. But either way, you're gonna take damage from him whether you like it or not, because his primary weakness is the super arm that we pick up from Gutsman, and there aren't usually any blocks you can use to kill him. I don't know if he's weak to the Thunder Beam, which we'll get from Elecman. And you don't get a way to get around him until you go through Elecman stage, and by that point you probably have already taken damage. So, insta ways. It's just one of those things. Either you gotta keep firing some shit at the big guy and just pray that he dies. Or you just gotta tank the hit and then just pray that you don't die. Because, unlike in later games, you have these little hallways full of mets and all kinds of enemies you run into in the stages. And that's actually something I find a little interesting about the first game that the other games don't. There really is no reason why there's a gate in the other games. In this game, it makes sense. And honestly, it just adds more tension because now you gotta contend with bad guys not only in the stage itself, but right before the boss, so you just gotta remember what they do, and I'm debating whether or not I have enough. I should be fine. I mean, I think, at half health, so it should be enough to fight off Gutsman. Gutsman's a pretty annoying robot master, particularly later in the game when you have to do the infamous rematches. Because, yeah, he does that, and he also likes to ground pound. Oh, crap, I might not survive. Nope, I didn't. I didn't think I would. It was a valiant attempt, though. Now, it may seem like I'm actually terrible at this game. I'm actually not. But, again, you have to remember, I'm playing and talking at the same time. I gotta keep things interesting. You know, that old mantra, let's play, just keep talking, just keep talking. Anyway, back to Gutsman's strategy here. Gutsman, unlike Bomb Man, who seems to be a little shy of you, Gutsman will almost always jump towards you in the first round. And that's really freaking annoying. I think very rarely he won't. But during the first round, you're just gonna have to expect that you're gonna die. Or use the Mega Buster against him so that he'll at least take a little damage until he jumps away, then you can use the Hyper Bomb. But as you can see there, the Hyper Bomb is anything but hyper. It takes a few seconds to blow up, and you gotta contend with that every single time you use the Hyper Bomb. It's very annoying. Although, it's not annoying is the Super Arm. Well, it is kind of annoying. Super Arm is an interesting idea for a weapon. Like, it gives Mega Man super strength and the ability to lift these boxes here. But at the same time, it's not really that useful. And, you know, it's a very situational weapon. Probably one of the most situational weapons in the Mega Man series. Not the last one by any means. Like, there's the top spin in Mega Man 3, which is fucking terrible. And whenever we eventually cover Mega Man 3, I'm not looking forward to battling some of the Robot Masters, particularly freaking Shadow Man. Who, by the way, fun fact, Shadow Man is actually weak to his own weapon, so in the rematches, that is a viable option against him. Use it. Anyway. Well, as you saw there, I accidentally fell down the pit and the enemies respawned. That's something you're gonna have to get used to in Mega Man if you fall down screens, which does happen often. Then, yeah, just expect that the enemies are gonna respawn, so... Yeah, I mean, it might not actually be a bad thing, and you can actually use it to your advantage later, because items respawn too, it's not just the enemies. Like, if you die, unlike in later Mega Mans, some of the items will actually come back, like the energy capsule. Particularly in Wily 1, which serves pretty useful whenever you're battling against a certain yellow devil, and this thing's freaking annoying. I hate those screw things. Yes. The evil eyeballs. I don't know what the hell Dr. Wily was smoking, but I want some. Because I don't know why he thought these were a good idea. We actually ran into him in Bomb Man stage. And I think they're more of a nuisance than anything else. Because they like hugging the wall, and it makes it difficult to get around them because Mega Man is usually just tall enough so that anytime these guys get close to him, it becomes an issue. Fortunately, these things are knocked out in one hit with a super arm, but it's not going to kill all of them, and you need to conserve that weapon energy. This part sucks, by the way. Although I think... yes, you can. Actually, you can actually shoot this guy. I'm just trying not to get hit, because... yeah, the timing on that's really, really tight. Fortunately, the game is nice enough to warp you back here. Although, the block disappeared. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's one thing that's annoying about Mega Man 1. And it actually makes the big boss fight against Cutman a little bit more difficult. Because if you use up your super arm and you die to Cutman, well, that block's not coming back, so... or those blocks are not coming back. So you're gonna have to fight him with the Mega Buster, which thankfully is not that difficult. He's actually one of the Robot Masters you can defeat fairly easily with the Mega Buster, but... anyway. Another annoying thing about Mega Man 1 is that if you swap weapons while you are on a staircase or whatever, and you are like a pixel from the top or bottom of the screen, Mega Man's warp animation will force you to fall back down the stairs, and that gets really testy later in the game. Like, watch this. See? Mega Man falls down the ladder. And I thought that there was going to be more. Never mind. And I'll watch out for those turrets there. And these helis. These helis are annoying. They're what I like to call the recurring asshole enemies. Every Mega Man game has one. And these things suck too. But these things aren't so bad. Unless you're over spikes, and then they start being a problem, but... yeah, whatever. Oh, God. Speaking of asshole enemies, this guy. You know how I said he's weak to the super arm? Yeah, he is. He is weak to the super arm, but... he's also testy. I don't know how weak he is to the super arm. I've heard rumor that he dies in 3 hits to the super arm. Or 2 hits to the super arm. But, I don't know, I've never been that lucky to kill him in 2 hits. Like, in some instances, I think he is, but not often. Anyway, these are bullet sprinklers, they're pretty annoying. And I'm about to die to Cutman, that's not a good thing. What I might do is, if I die to Cutman, I might just... well, cut... back to whenever I'm successful. I'm trying to get one of these assholes freaking... well, I'm dead. I was trying to get him to freaking summon a energy refill capsule. So anyway, I think that's a good enough place to end the episode off. In the next episode, we will actually fight off Cutman. See you then.